Round 16 of the Isuzu UTE A-League kicked off at Sky Stadium on Waitangi Day in New Zealand when the Wellington Phoenix took on Melbourne Victory. With just 12 points separating first and last, it was a crucial fixture for both sides as they looked to push for a final spot throughout the back end of the season. Giancarlo Italiano made one change to the Knicks side that drew against Melbourne City, with captain Alex Rufer ruled out with injury and being replaced by Sander Kortum. Whilst Arthur Dillies made 4 changes to his side that lost to the Mariners, bringing in Reno Piscopo, Charles Nduka, Nishan Velupillay and captain Roderick Miranda.
Tim Payton on goal leading. Tim Payne, what a save! Wachowski early on in the piece from Tim Payne. It's the second corner of the contest for Victory and tucked in at the far post, and it's going to count. Jason Davidson looked to get the final touch, had it already crossed the line. They run to the corner flag to celebrate. Is it Davidson's goal? Piscopo with the corner. Nagasawa, bit of space to work in, finds Eze with an early pass. Nazarine's in the area. Eze back onto that left foot, deflected! Corner results, just the wrong side of the post as far as Ifeanyi Eze was concerned. Mata looks up, sees Nduka. He brings it in Velupillay, good move this, a little toe poke from Nishan Velupillay. Genre arriving at the far post, Velupillay thought that took a touch off a defender, goal kick though. He gives it away, that's almost a collector's item as Nazarine sets off downfield. 4-on-4 for Wellington. Amiento! What a finish from Carlo Amiento. Ice cold in front of Yellow Fever. And Wellington square the ledger at 1 apiece. Genre rips one into Nduka. It's found its way to Velupillay. Nishan Velupillay gives Melbourne Victory the lead again with 90 seconds left in the first half. Latching onto it, Nishan Velupillay comfortably beating Kelly Heald. Amiento, Eze's almost in his way, Amiento. Goes down in the penalty area and referee Jack Morgan thought about it and decided a penalty would be awarded. They're going to have a look. Where did the foul take place?
After review, there is no foul inside the penalty area. It is normal football contact. Drop ball.
Dorigo with Velupillay. Jelassic building nicely, and a third for Melbourne Victory off the head of Louis Dorigo. Melbourne Victory increased their buffer, and he's only just arrived. Delivery's good, and there it goes. Who got the final touch? Hughes was there, Kelly Heald. All Wellington want to do is get things going again. Isaac Hughes is getting the congratulations. The corner was terrific from Amiento. For the first time in 2026, Melbourne Victory are successful on the road. They were made to work for it, but it is a 4th straight win against Wellington for Melbourne Victory. Battered and bruised, but not bowed. There's your final score. Wellington Phoenix 2, Melbourne Victory 3.
Perth Glory made the trip to Campbelltown Sports Stadium on Friday night to take on the Macarthur Bulls. 3 points would see the home side move equal top of the ladder, whilst Glory were looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since December. Macarthur boss Mile Stajovski made one change to his side that drew against Adelaide, bringing Luke Bratton back into his starting 11, whilst Adam Griffiths switched up his squad that beat Auckland, adding Arion Suleimani, Seb Despotovski and Giovanni Diabro.
Off a short run up, and Curto is down sharply. It's out for a corner kick. Now Caceres, the return ball. Bratton cuts it back and out off the left foot of Vickery. Freeney whips it in. Good defensive header, but it's an up and under to Silva. Diabru, Pennington. Snapshot round the corner, and it's found a way in. Nicholas Pennington gives Perth Glory the lead, and it's a moment to forget for Philip Curto in goal. Pennington won't care. It's consecutive trips to Campbelltown Stadium, where he has found the back of the net. 1-0 to the Glory. is Shamoon. Ball comes to a standstill. Now Kucharski, Diabru. And that would have been quite the way to make it 2 for the Glory, but the shot goes high and wide. Opening up the bag of tricks. Is that the moment that turns it for Macarthur? Scott, dropped it on the goal line, but in the end, Matt Sutton saw it all the way. As we approach the hour mark, Economidis ran down to the line and now hangs it up over the head of Vickery. Doubles back towards the line. He's going to keep it in here. Talbot. And at the near post, Macarthur get the equaliser. And who else but Mitch Duke? Stooping to the header. And the World Cup hopeful has his second goal in just 4 games. Scott to Boschniak at the edge of the box. And he holds off Diabru. Talbot, little sidestep, and in! Is that at last Callum Talbot's first A-League goal? It took a big deflection off the head of the defender. But for now, it is Callum Talbot. And the crowd re-engage once again. Vickery. It's a really forcefully driven cross. Economidis, and the follow-up is saved away. Sutton foils Sawyer, and only the width of the post denied Economidis a special goal of his own. As the game ticks towards stoppage, Koho! Oh, goodness! And now the net's open for Kolakovsky! Late drama! Perth a level 2-2! Glory a level, and what on earth happened to the Macarthur defence? Macarthur have to settle for a point, and Perth Glory smash and grab at the end of the night. Stefan Kolakovsky able to net the equaliser, and Philip Curto can only contemplate what might have been Macarthur FC 2, Perth Glory 2 at the end of the game.
It was second versus third when Sydney FC made the trip to Go Media Stadium at the weekend to take on Auckland FC. The home side were looking to turn things around after a poor January, which saw them win just 1 of their 6 matches, whilst the Sky Blues were hoping to continue the form which saw them convincingly beat their rivals Western Sydney Wanderers in the Sydney Derby last weekend. Steve Corica made 3 changes to his Auckland side that lost to Perth, bringing in Michael Val, Jake Goodwood-Reich and Marley Francois, whilst Ufuk Talay stuck with his 11 that beat the Wanderers.
De Vries will aim for Girdwood. Reich at the near post, goes over the top of him. Tisserand with a firm header away. De Vries, plenty of elevation on that cross. Sarkai's at the far post, in towards Verstrada, and Cosgrove taps it in! A miss by Verstrada, but no second invitation required for Sam Cosgrove. His 7th goal of the season. He joins Ifinese and Lachlan Rose at the top of the Golden Boot standings. And just on the 20-minute mark, Auckland FC go 1-0 ahead. Sarkai is going to hurl this one, and Cosgrove, the goal scorer, flicks it on. Girdwood-Reich is there. Verstrada! Well, 3 headers. Cosgrove, Girdwood-Reich, and then Verstrada. Devonish Mears with a good save to tip it over. Campazano, can he control? He has. Quintal, a con outside him. Tiago Quintal, Victor Campazano, what a save by Val. One of the best saves he's produced all season, Michael Vouch. And the crowd let him know they've got his back. Marley Francois across the 6-yard area, surely a second to Guillermo Mai, and he slapped the ground in frustration. The ball from Francois was on a plate, and Guillermo Mai, who we got so used to seeing bulge the net last season, couldn't do it this time. Kispe lifts it forward towards the run of Garuccio. Quintal! Off the post! A brace last week and so close that time. And now Auckland FC are away through Cosgrove. Mai is hearing up. End to end. Guillermo Mai! He's hit the post.
Don't take your eyes off it. We are screaming through the second half. Auckland resolute. Guillermo Mai then waits, composed onto the left foot, off the post.
Lovely ball from Sarkai. into the path of Rogerson, across towards Cosgrove. What a save! What a save! Save of the season. Harrison Devonish-Mears has pulled off the save of this season.
Shock around Go Media.
Now Grant. Kisbay deflected. Another good save by Vowd. Hangs it up towards Rogerson. Cosgrove. Now Surely off the post again for the third time. Sakai. Here it is again for Surely. Sydney FC's goal, living a charmed life. Auckland FC rise from their rut and leap to the top of the A-League men's ladder. It's a familiar sight, and this has become a ferocious rivalry. The new blue goes the way of Auckland FC again. They celebrate in the port, as they will long into the night. Auckland FC 1, Sydney FC 0.
The Central Coast Mariners made the trip on Saturday afternoon to KO Stadium in Redcliffe to take on a beleaguered Brisbane Roar. The Mariners were hoping to enact revenge for their injury time loss to the side from Queensland on New Year's Eve, whilst the Roar were hoping to turn their recent form around, having just won one of their last 6 games. Roar boss Michael Valkanis made 2 changes to his line at the loss to the Jets, bringing in Nick D'Agostino and Michael Roos, whilst Warren Moon brought in Bradley Tapp and Harry Steele for his 100th cap for the Mariners.
Alarm bells kind of game here for Brisbane, because they've got Bazanis on 4, Klein on 4. Here's New's chance. Sprays it into the den. Oh, Klein, nice footwork. Does he unleash? Not quite. Leaves it for Salas. Spills D'Agostino! There's a dagger into the heart of the Mariners. Right before half-time. And there's his first on return to the Roar.
Well, they don't need numbers forward if they've got players like Nick D'Agostino in the box.
Newell looks up. Delivers to Moragas. Moragas' delivery's a good one, and there is the equaliser. DiPizio finds a stoppage time reply, and Brisbane do concede goals before half-time. That's the first one this season, and the Mariners with a perfect response in Redcliffe.
Well, it's come to life right before half-time here.
Some problems mounting here for Brisbane. That will all go away for a moment if they can find a goal. Oh, was there a handball there as D'Agostino had a snapshot at goal? At the other end of the ground, though, Laval. He hasn't seen many openings today. He gets one here. He squares it. Brandman plays the 1-2. Tight angle. Brandman! Drama at both ends of the pitch. This final half hour is shaping up nicely. Salas tried to take on Moragas. Well, that will favour Roos. Michael Roos keeps his feet. Vidic! Klein is remonstrating with Vidic, asking why he didn't receive the pass. Well, it's a powerful drive. Bazanis had to push it away. Taniguchi and Roo! The most unlikely of goal scorers. Can you believe that? Storm Roo with just his 9th A-League goal. And the Mariners in front at Redcliffe.
Unreal. Just unreal.
Well, the Sunshine State, it smiles on the Mariners again. 5 straight wins against Brisbane in Queensland, and they have back-to-back wins for the first time this season, full-time at KO Stadium. Brisbane Roar 1, Central Coast Mariners 2.
Defending champions Melbourne City travelled to CommBank Stadium where they faced off against the Western Sydney Wanderers. The home side were desperate to bounce back after their derby defeat and were hoping a win would see them move off the bottom of the table, while City were hoping to find some form ahead of their return to Asian Champions League action in midweek. Gary Van Egmond made 3 changes to his 11 that lost against Sydney FC, bringing in Josh Brillante, Stephen Ugarkovic and Aidan Hammond, whilst Nathaniel Atkinson, Andreas Kuhn and Marcus Eunice all returned to Aurelio Vidmar's starting lineup.
I did say before the game, I'll let this flow out.
Hammond running at Bajic, turning him inside out, oh, just wide. Took a big deflection. Barbarouses, great touch back for Ryan Fraser, looking for the little 1-2. Oh, the mistake, Hammond, brilliantly done Beach, as Barbarouses went flying in as well. Well, panic stations at the back for Melbourne City, that would have been a calamitous goal. That's a good ball, flag down for the moment, Thurgate blocked. Brilliantly blocked by Nathaniel Atkinson. Mehmeti, Atkinson, Bajic delivers towards Supre on the header, tipped over by Lawrence Thomas. Well played City, well played the Wanderers goalkeeper as well. Kuhn, look at the space on the left here, City! And Lopane couldn't keep it down. It was a good sighting, one of City's best so far. Here's Andreas Kuhn for Eunice. Still there with Mehmeti. Eunice, oh, what a save! Lawrence Thomas, remarkable stuff. Point blank range.
Interesting again, no Hiroshi Ibasuki tonight.
And they're into the area. Fraser drives it across the face of goal towards Barbarouses. Ugarkovic can't keep the shot down. Stephen Ugarkovic. As that's turned over, Bajic pouncing on another approximative pass, and as is Bajic with an absolute classic. 20 minutes into the second half, and the Socceroo, the City captain, leading by example, pouncing on the loose ball, driving into the area, and finishing with aplomb. Thurgate's ball is a good one. Krajev's header! And Bojidar Krajev has found the equaliser with just 13 minutes left to play. Finally, one of those set pieces from Western Sydney found its target. But they showed character, the Wanderers, after dominating the first half of football. It was City that stunned them with Aziz Bajic's wonderful goal. But the Wanderers, they dug deep, they fought back, finished here at CommBank. Wanderers 1, City 1.
The final game of round 16 in the Isuzu A-League saw the high-flying Newcastle Jets make the trip to Cooper Stadium to take on an in-form Adelaide United in a match that saw the league's 2 highest-scoring teams face off against one another. The Jets were looking to pick up a record 6th consecutive win and move back into first place, whilst 3 points would see the Reds move up into third. Adelaide boss Ayrton Andreoli made 3 changes to his side that drew against Macarthur, giving starts to Bart Friends, Sotirios Phillips and Juan Muniz, whilst Mark Milligan stuck with an unchanged 11 for the 4th straight match.
Clayton Taylor, he's been quiet so far, Taylor, but now the cross, oh, it's gone all the way in. Well, from having a goal disallowed at one end, Clayton Taylor, who we've barely seen at Cooper's so far this afternoon. Well, I'm almost 100% sure he was looking to cross towards LA Rose, but the ball missed everyone in the middle and floated inside the far post. Burgess, and look at the space for Bayliss again, that hole in midfield. Bayliss to the left, Clayton Taylor hits it, and that's 2. Clinical from the Jets, who go and celebrate with their travelling supporters. Clayton Taylor at the double. Jovanovic Wilmering with the foot, Jovanovic again. Still Jovanovic, look at Muñiz. And they have pulled it back. The Spaniard, Juan Muñiz, with his first goal in A-League football. It was a pretty simple one. That's the Jets that got Adelaide back into the game. Ethan Allegic's first contribution to release Yaya Dakuli. Dakuli! And we're all level. It's a flowing, flourishing finish for his first of the season from Yaya Dakuli. And Adelaide, from the ropes, right back in, centre stage.
Oopsie.
A little slip from Freens. Here's Clayton Taylor racing away. Clayton Taylor! The hat-trick boy for the Newcastle Jets. And for the third time, they are in front at Coopers. How many more chances do they need to put this one to bed? Clinical again from Clayton Taylor, who continues to fly up the scoring charts, not only in the league, but also in Newcastle Jets history.
For Newcastle, still a chance for the Reds.
Ryan White, early cross, Dakuli off the post! So close! And how simple. And Yaya Dakuli so close to that third goal. They want it in the box, the crowd. Dizelle, in it comes, the header, crossbar! Unbelievable. They've hit the woodwork twice in the last 5 minutes, Adelaide. Epic at Coopers. The Jets have made history. They go back to the top of the table. It's a 6th consecutive win for the Newcastle Jets. All finished at Coopers Stadium. What a match of football to bring the curtain down on round 16. Newcastle Jets 3, Adelaide United 2.
Their record 6th straight win sees the box office Jets remain clear on top of the table, followed by Auckland FC and Sydney FC, with the Macarthur Bulls, Melbourne Victory and Adelaide United rounding out the top 6. With 10 rounds to go and just 14 points separating first from last place, it's set to be an unforgettable end to the season as all 12 teams look to make a push for the finals. So join us next week as we look back on another blockbuster round of Isuzu A-League action, headlined by a top 6 clash on Valentine's Day between Sydney FC and Adelaide United. We'll see you there.